Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Baby Lock Jazz 2. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take care of your machine. Now, there's not much you need to do, but you need to remember that as you're sewing, lint is going to build up, especially in the bobbin area. So to start out with, let's unthread the machine. Remember, snip the thread up at the top, pull the thread out at the bobbin. And we're going to take the bobbin out. Okay, like that. That's all out of the way. Now, your book is going to tell you, your manual is going to tell you, anytime you're doing things with the needle, especially the needle, that you want to turn off your machine for safety purposes. But for educational purposes here, I'm going to leave my machine light on so you can see what I'm doing. So to start out with, we're going to take out the needle, and you have a couple screwdrivers that come with your machine. You've got this larger screwdriver and the smaller, shorter screwdriver. The larger one, I'm going to use that for taking out the needle. Do we take that out? Straight down, off to the side. I'm going to put this over here where it's nice and safe in that compartment. Then we take the foot off, put that down there too. Now we're going to take these little screws out. So in this case, we use this little short screwdriver because it fits very nicely underneath this the machine head here. I'm just going to unscrew both of these a little bit because once you get them up high enough, you can just do them with your fingers. It's really quick and easy. Just do it that way because they're little short screws, little short things. Because they're so short and small, you want to also keep them safe in your accessory compartment. Then with the cover off, you just lift that right off like that. I like to go ahead and put the cover back on just to keep it from getting lost. So, because it's clear. There we go. All right. Next thing, take out the brush, which also happens to be a seam ripper. Take out the brush and lift out that bobbin case. Now the bobbin case has a little bit of lint on it, so we want to get all that lint off of there. Clean it on all sides. And then clean in here. There's just a little bit of lint, not much. But you want to make sure and get as much of that out of there, and especially around the feed dogs. In between the feed dogs, make sure you get any lint out of there. This is especially important if you've sewn something like fleece or flannel or quilt batting. This can get packed up with lint, and which could impede the ability of the feed dogs to move the fabric forward. So you want to clean regularly. I would say clean, say once a week if you sew every day. If you sew a couple times a week, maybe once a month might do it. The exception to that, of course, would be for fuzzy things like, say, a set of flannel pajamas. Immediately after you're done sewing that project, clean the lint out, just like I showed you. Now, you can use your vacuum cleaner hose attachment as you're brushing. That's a good way to get the extra lint out. I'd recommend not using anything that sprays air further into your machine because it's going to spray that dust further in. So like that canned air, I would avoid that if I were you. Okay, so to put it back together, now we've got the bobbin case right here. This little knob right there, you see that little knob right there? That's got to go next to this little stopper right here. So we're going to put that down in there, and it's got to sit right on the rim. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you, the book is going to tell you this too. You do need to every now and then put a little drop of oil. So what we're doing is we're oiling where this sits here on this rim. So you'd put a little drop of machine oil. Now use good quality sewing machine oil. I'd recommend something like this. This is your precision machine oil. And what I like about this is this has got this little zoom oiler so you can actually get it very precisely where you want it to be. But the really cool thing is this little cap that comes off, it's got a parking spot right there. So you're not going to ever lose that cap. It's right there. And when you're done, you just put the cap back on, zoom this back down, and it's all ready to go for next time. Okay, so let's put this back together, slide that back in, making sure that it's sitting right on that rim. So rock it back and forth a little bit and then make sure that that knob is right next to that stopper. Now we're ready to put the needle plate back on. And I know where those screws are because I put them in a safe place. Right there. And notice we have the needle out of the way. We have the foot off of there. Everything's out of the way so it's easier to clean the machine and you don't have to worry about accidentally dulling your needle. Now, needles do need to be changed regularly. That's part of the maintenance of your machine. If you've been sewing, say, if your machine has been running 6 to 8 hours, every 6 to 8 hours, you should put in a new needle. Another way to figure that out is every 3 full bobbins that you use of thread. By that time, the tip of the needle has started to get dull from going through the fabric so much. When you've used up 3 full bobbins on that needle, it's time to change the needle into a new needle. Okay, so I'm going to start out with just putting the foot back on. I like to hold it back to front this way, and pardon me, you match up the stitch hole in the foot with the stitch hole in the needle plate, like that. Lower your presser foot, and it goes right on. Now, to put the needle in, we have the flat side there that goes away from us. I like to use this tool here. It's a fairly inexpensive tool that you can buy here at Montavilla. I love this because this is actually for going over jean seams, very thick seams, but it's got this needle inserter tool. If you look carefully, you can see that there is a flat side to that. That matches up with the flat side of the needle. So now this tool becomes like a handle for your needle. So you start out by, I'm going to put this down, give myself plenty of room. Start out by poking the pointy end right down there where it sews. Bring it straight up inside. Loosen that a little bit more. There we go. And you can feel it's right up against the stopper at the top. This is going to be much better than just simply holding the needle with your fingers. We tighten that up. Keep the upward pressure on that. You can use either screwdriver, it doesn't really matter. Tighten that up like that. Pull this down, and your maintenance is done. That's all you need to do. Remember, cleaning the lint out and making sure you have a nice, good needle is basically what you need to do for your machine to keep it running well. You can also bring it into Montavilla here once a year or so and have them check it all over, make sure all the lint is out of it in areas where you can't reach it, make sure it's adjusted correctly. That's a good thing to do for your machine, especially if you use it a lot. I would recommend doing that. So that's machine maintenance. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you have, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. We have lots of other videos on this machine and on other machines here on our Montavilla YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.